Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Avax. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous Avax update, it's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Feel free to watch that so you have more context. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see we're having a major retracement from this support block that I gave you between $10.60 down to $9.40. We talked about this for a long time, and we even mentioned this level back in 2021. I keep bringing this up in every video because I just want to nail down the fact that we spoke about this very block on the channel when we were down here at these exact prices. I was telling you that these were great buying opportunities. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but since this support block, for example, if you got in at $10.60, you are up 227% and you were up 258%. And let's say you got in at $9.40, you are approximately up 268%. And this is just a start. Like, we're not even in the bull market yet. And from the current price, we are only 316% away from the all-time high. And if you got in, let's say at roughly 10 bucks, the all-time high is 1,400% away. Personally, I would not be buying Avax at the current prices because you can probably see that it's very overextended. So we're going to need to find a nice support level for us to land on, and we're going to hope that that level holds us so that we don't continue lower. A very positive thing to note is that we broke above the August 2022 high with force, and that is good. And this is what I've been talking about on pretty much every single altcoin video, is the fact that we need this August 2022 high broken. I don't think we're going to be able to solidify above $30 here because this is around 30 bucks, and I don't think we'll be able to hold it and just stay here without retracing down lower. And I think we are going to be going lower. So the lowest price I would expect, if we're looking for a healthy retracement, is going to be all the way down here at roughly $27 or $22, I should say, and 70 cents. So it lines up with this local high from January this year and from this local high in November last month. From where we are right now, that is another 36%, 35% down. And that is plausible. That's a healthy retracement for an altcoin, especially if you take a look at the RSI. We are very much overextended here, so a nice retracement is well overdue. As you can see, the RSI as well is printing a rising wedge here, so it looks like we're going to be looking at a nice break to the downside. So all of these local lows that we printed in October and September are going to be important support levels for us to hold, and you can target those on the daily RSI. Just add a trend line on each one of these swing lows, and you can start averaging in once you touch each level and just buy a bit. But this is the daily chart, so it's not going to give us the full picture, so to speak, but just to show you that the 20 EMA is essentially vertical at this point. We are going to need to find a nice support level. Again, we have even a lower support. If we continue this downtrend and we go below $22, it is possible we could go lower, right? We could retest this level between $16.80 down to $16, and this was held as support in 2022. Then we broke down in 2023 and had a breakout. So a retracement back to this level and now a back test of support would be perfect, in all honesty, but I don't know if that is going to end up happening. So $16.80 around that price is going to be your perfect opportunity to get into Avax. And if you're going to be waiting for these exact lows to be hit again, it's possible that we're not going to be coming back down there unless we have some sort of a black swan event. I don't think we're just naturally going to make our way back down there. But again, I could be wrong. We haven't officially secured a position above the August high only once we do that can we say that the bear market low has been printed. But as of right now, everything's on the table. I don't think we're going to be able to, this is not sustainable, really. We're not going to be able to stay above the August high for much longer. But this is the daily. Let's switch over to the weekly so that we can have a more long-term outlook. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly, you can see that we broke out of this channel down pattern, and we talked about this pattern for a very long time. And we had one bounce off the resistance, 2, even 3, you could say. And we had a few bounces off the support here. So 3 bounces off the support, 3 bounces off of the resistance of the channel, and then it looked like we were planning to hit the support again, but we didn't quite get there, and we just reversed and absolutely broke out. You can see we are getting volume, which is good. This does confirm the breakout. So this is a proper breakout here. We broke out above this resistance trend line. That is good. We broke out above the August high, but I don't think we're going to be able to hold that. So we're going to drop, and we're going to close the candle below that. That is my guess. And we're looking to print a bullish cross, which is a bull market signal essentially, especially for higher cap altcoins. This is going to be a very major sign. On the daily chart, it's not that big of a deal, but on the weekly, when Bitcoin is doing what Bitcoin is doing right now, this is a major sign, just like this was your bear market sign. So this was your bear market sign back in June 2022. So this essentially was your confirmation that you're in a bear market. Of course, if you were to sell at these levels, that was 23 bucks, you still could have bought back in 62% cheaper if you just sold at these prices. But in reality, you were supposed to be selling, at 100 and above. But no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. So let's try to gain as much knowledge as possible until we get to the bull market, just so we can know when to properly sell. Now, we will be doing sell strategies or exit strategies for all of the coins in my portfolio on Patreon, and I think we'll do for a few coins that aren't in my portfolio, because a lot of my patrons hold coins like Avax and Solana. I don't own any of those coins, and if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to join the Patreon. But taking a look at the weekly and just looking at some support levels that we could hold. So of course, I already mentioned $28.50, which is this August 2022 high. Next up, you've got another level, which is all the way here at $23, based on this retest that we had in November, before we pulled back just slightly and then broke out. Next up, you're going to have this level over here. And this is $20. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get to $20, but it is a possibility. Setting up a buy limit order just in case is very smart. Now, the 20 EMA is going to be the most important support level here, because this is essentially our support band during the bull market. If you take a look at the previous bull market, we did not really have a lot of bounces off of the 20 EMA. And you can see here we had one bounce, but then we had the May 2021 drop, which ended in August, and then we started recovering. But Avax isn't really a good example here because this is a newer coin. But if you look through other coins, you look through Bitcoin, the 20 EMA on the weekly chart is your support band during a bull market. So holding the 20 as support is very important. And I would say wherever the 20 is, if you drop down to the 20, immediately that is a good buying opportunity. because just like this was our resistance here, you can see we had a few resistance bounces. We did get above it slightly sometimes, but we couldn't really stay above it for more than a month. And we got rejected from the 20 over here. And since then, you know, we were below it this entire time. Now we are flipping and we're going to be staying above it until we eventually get to the halving and go parabolic once again. So these are the few levels that I would be looking at if you still don't have any AVAX, and buying right now, once again, would be foolish because you're very, very overbought. If we open up the oscillators here, you can see we are very, very high. The last time we were this high was back in November 2021. So essentially 2 years ago when we hit the previous bull market peak. And you do not want to be buying at a level that, you know, reflects that. Also, the stochastic is in the overbought as well, so you could just wait until you start retracing back down and you get to the oversold here below the index of 20. The stochastic, keep in mind, is more of a short-term trading indicator. The RSI is obviously for more long-term trades. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the weekly chart. We're just going to be waiting for a retracement. Once again, if the retracement goes deeper, you have your levels here. If it drops below the 20 for whatever reason, just like it did over here, it's a good buying opportunity. The lower it goes, the better it is. So just make sure to stay away from FOMO, but also make sure to capitalize on these opportunities. If you were with me on the channel throughout this bear market, you would have been buying all of this here. In fact, you would have been buying $10 and $9, and you would have even been buying the bottom here because I told you guys these were very good prices to get into AVAX. So hopefully some of you listened, hopefully some of you did your research and looked into the project. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you have to determine what you want to do with your money yourself. But one thing I do want to do before we end the video is just set a quick Fibonacci to the upside. And you can see that we are trying to get above the 0.5. Looks like we're not going to be able to do that. Our target in the bull market is going to be $266. And then we have $392. Those are going to be your two extension levels to the upside based on this fib. So from the swing low in September to the swing high in November 2021, these are going to be your major targets. But of course, the most important target for us to break through on this fib is the golden ratio, the 0.618 at $46.31, because once you break that, you're almost guaranteed to retrace back to the all-time high. That's at the very least. So the worst case scenario is going to be a retracement back to the all-time high. And if you don't really want to wait after that, you can take profits at the all-time high. That's fine. But now, if we get rejected from it once we come up to it, there is a possibility we're going to come back down and retest some of these lower fib levels. That's a very, very real possibility, and that doesn't mean the end of the world, of course. It's just going to mean that it's going to take a bit more time for us to break above the golden ratio. So once again, $33, major resistance. We are going to be below it very soon. $24.50, $16.6 are the main fib levels you're looking at here. And feel free to set this up on your chart as well. Here are the fib settings that I have, and you can pause the video and copy that. But that's pretty much it for AVAX. Don't be a degen. Don't buy into these green candles. You should be buying down here when you're getting a bunch of red candles. Let me know what's your average buying price into AVAX. Let me know what are your targets for the bull market, and I'm going to catch you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.